Welcome back to Inglés 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Advanced. Hello and welcome back to class number 98. Folks, we are here in class number 98, entering the advanced portion of the class. I always say welcome back because this is the final 20 minutes of the show for those of you who are listening on the radio. For the rest of you, if you are tuning in by downloading this from the Baugan Inglés website and listening at your leisure, at home, I say leisure, the British people would say leisure, then maybe it seems strange that I always say welcome back. Back from where, Kyle? We're just getting started. Also, I noticed at the end of yesterday's class, I said, see you soon. Because, well, for me, 24 hours is soon enough. It seems like I'm with you a lot, aren't I? If you listen regularly. And anyhow, so that's why I always say, welcome back, because I'm just back. It was just a 3-minute or maybe 4-minute commercial break, right? And then here I am. I'm back. So welcome back. We were talking about the conditionals yesterday. That's right, the 3 conditionals, the future conditional, present conditional, and the past conditional. And you know, the good news, there's good news and bad news here, ladies and gentlemen. There's good news and bad news. What do you want? What do you want to hear first, the good news or the bad news? The bad news? Well, okay, all right. Not that it's bad news, but the reality here is some people find the third conditional a little bit tricky. But even there, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Remember the if, had, would have. The if subject had participle, would have participle, right? That's the structure that we follow. And some people have a little bit of problems with it, and that's the bad news, right? I mean, it's not really that bad, is it? Because it's actually not that hard. But the good news is, out of all the occasions that you use the conditional, first, second, and third conditional, or the conditionals, if you add them up, we probably use the present conditional about 70% of the time. Well, also maybe 60% because the future conditional, which is even easier. If it rains, I will stay home. If it rains, I will stay home. The future conditional is also very easy, but between those two, we have probably 90% of all the conditionals. Then the third conditional, well, of course we have mixed conditionals, which we'll see another day. But out of these 3 basic structures, the third one, which is the entre comillas, quote unquote, difficult one, is only used 10% of the time. Probably. About 10%. I haven't conducted an extensive survey on this, but it's not quite as common. So that's good news, right? The tough one isn't as common, but it deserves our attention because it's maybe a little bit more difficult. So it deserves our attention and our practice and an effort to practice a little bit. So yesterday I gave you the beggar example. I said, if I have a coin, I will give it to the beggar. And then I said, I got to the beggar, the guy, he's on the street asking for money. I said, first conditional, if I have a coin, I will give it to the beggar. And then I got to the beggar and I said, no, sorry, I don't have a coin. Sorry, Mr. Beggar, I don't have a coin, so I can't give you one. However, if I had a coin, I would give it to you. And then I said that I came into the office and I saw my colleague here at Vaughan Radio, Jim Trainer, and I said, Jim, you won't believe what just happened. I saw a beggar on the street, and I wanted to give him a coin, but I couldn't because I didn't have one. And he said, really? Oh, my gosh. He said, Kyle, if you had had a coin, would you have given it to the beggar? And I said, yes. If I had had a coin, I would have given it to the beggar. Okay? I'll tell you what, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. If I have I'm going to look. I bring my bag with me. I have a bag full of things. Sometimes I have food in there. Sometimes I have a little bit of fruit or even a sandwich. And if I'm not sure if I have a sandwich in there or not, but if I have a sandwich in the bag, I will eat it after class. If I have a sandwich, I'll eat it. In fact, maybe I'll look through the bag now, because if I had a sandwich, yeah, I'm so hungry that if I had a sandwich right now, I would eat it. If I had a sandwich, I would eat it. Let me see here. Let me see. I'm just looking in the bag. No, I don't have a sandwich. I thought I put a sandwich in there, but no, I don't. I don't have a sandwich. So, however, if I had a sandwich, I would have eaten it. I probably would have eaten it already. If I had a sandwich, I would have eaten it. So there you go. There are the three conditionals right there. If I have a sandwich, I will eat it. If I had a sandwich, I would eat it right now. If I had a sandwich, I would have eaten it. Yes. The three conditionals, they will continue to appear in the class, in the classes ahead, but I have to move on because I'm already about 6.5 minutes into this class. And one thing that I neglected yesterday, I did not do the translation list. And people said to me, Kyle, we were looking forward to that translation list. And I said, I know, sorry, but I'll do it now. I'll do it the next day, as soon as I can, which is now. Okay, so let's take a look at this translation list. It is list number 27. Translation. Yes, it is time for translation list number 27. Now, remember, I say this every time. Well, I always say this with the beginner students, I should say. And I'll say it to you as well, out loud. Say the sentences out loud, right? You might even want to write them down. It's a good idea to write them down, but just as long as you're not in the car driving or anything like that, right? Okay, now, number 1. Ha habido bastantes fracasos. There have been, quite a few failures. Yeah, there have been quite a few failures. There have been quite a few failures. Number 2, pero ha habido bastantes éxitos también. But there have been quite a few successes as well. También, as well. Or two. You could say two, but as well is a nice way of saying también. Number 3. Pero los fracasos han predominado sobre los éxitos. But the failures have outweighed the successes. Yeah, the failures have outweighed the successes. Number 4, él no te quiere. Solo está detrás de tu dinero. Cuidado, Cuidado con eso, porque él no te quiere. Solo está detrás de tu dinero. How do you say this? All right. He doesn't love you. He's only after your money. He doesn't love you. Be careful. He doesn't love you. He's only after your money. Number 5. Daría mi brazo derecho por tener una mujer como ella. Maybe. I give my right arm. I'd give my right arm to have a woman like her. I'd give my right arm to have a woman like her. Number 6. ¿De verdad crees en los fantasmas? ¿De verdad ¿Crees en los fantasmas? Do you really believe in ghosts? Ghosts. Oh, the STS sound. Very nice. Ghosts. We have the S. Imagine the S, the long S, and then we move our tongue forward to touch the teeth, to create the T, and then back, returning to the S position. It's like we're in the disco. Ghosts. Ghosts. Do you really believe in ghosts? Number 7. Déjame que te enseñe el camino. Déjame que te enseñe el camino. Let me show you the way. Let me show you the way. Number 8. Voy a usarlos contra ti. I'm going to use them against you. Ooh. I'm going to use them against you. Number 9. ¿Se sabe algo? Any news? Any news? ¿Se sabe algo? Any news? Okay. Number 10. Todavía están intentando conseguir que funcione. They're still trying to get it to work. They're still trying to get it to work. Number 11. ¿Para qué estás haciendo eso? What are you doing that for? What are you doing that for? Number 12. Hay oro más allá del horizonte. There's gold beyond the horizon. There's gold beyond the horizon. Oh, nice. Maybe we better go beyond the horizon and get that gold. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen, with list number 27. They're getting a little bit more difficult, aren't they? Little by little, they keep getting a bit tougher. But hopefully you're doing all right with those. Let's move on and take a look at our expression of the day. Expression of the day. Yes, it is time for the expression of the day. The expression of the day today is all skin and bones. To be skin and bones means you're very thin. Imagine, you're only skin and bone. Piel y hueso. Skin and or huesos, bones. Skin and bones. It just means you're very thin. Have you seen him lately? He's all skin and bones. He's very, very thin. He's skin and bones, or he's all skin and bones. He needs a good meal. He needs to go and have a proper cocido. Put some meat on those bones, right? He's all skin and bones. He's very thin. To be all skin and bones. To be very, very thin. Okay, that's our expression of the day. Now, we can move on into class number 98 here. Let me turn the page. Yes, here we are in class number 98, getting started with, the conditionals, once again, the 3 conditionals, but now practicing with questions in the 3 conditionals. Okay? So imagine there's a nice movie that's coming to the cinema. And it's a Wednesday, and I'm thinking about the weekend ahead and how I'd like to maybe go to the movie with a girl. And I say, well, will you go with me if I pay for your ticket? Will you go with me? Will you go with me if I invite you? Let's say, will you go with me if I invite you? I don't know what she would say. Maybe she'd say yes. I don't know. So she could say, yes, I will go with you if you invite me. Future conditional. Or, no, Kyle, I won't go with you if you invite me. Right now it's Friday night. Would you go with me if I invited you? Would you go with me if I invited you? And she says, yes, I would go if you invited me. I would go if you bought me popcorn, for example, or whatever. If you invited me, okay. And then in the past, it's Monday, and I say, oh, what? I stayed home alone. I could have gone to the movie with that girl. So I call her and I say, hey, would you have gone with me if I had invited you? Would you have gone with me if I had invited you? And then maybe she says, no, Kyle, I had other plans. I went to Pedro. I wouldn't have gone with you if you had invited me. And then I'd be very sad. Oh, que triste, no? No, Kyle, I wouldn't have gone with you. Or maybe she said, yes, I was waiting for you to call, Kyle. I would have gone with you if you had invited me. Okay? So all we're doing is we're changing the word order into the interrogative form again. Okay? Oh, I have a question. If you win the lottery, will you give me half the money? Will you? If you win the lottery, will you give me half the money? No. No, Kyle. If I win the lottery, I won't give you half the money. Okay. If you won the lottery, would you give me half the money? So this is the present. Right now, if you won the lottery, would you give me half the money? No, Kyle. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't give you half the money. What about last year? If you had won the lottery last year, last Christmas, the gordo, the Christmas, the big Christmas lottery, if you had won the lottery, would you have given me half? No, Kyle. If I had won the lottery, I wouldn't have given you half. Okay, there we go. The 3 conditionals there, practicing in the interrogative. Very good. Let's move on and take a look at our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. Yes, it is time for the vocabulary of the day. The first word, pasar la pelota. To pass the buck. To pass the buck. Yes. Bufanda. Scarf. Scarf. Now remember, there's no E, not a scarf. No. Scarf. Columna vertebral. Spine. It's the same sort of sound starting in the teeth, not in the vocal cords. Spine. Resumir. To summarize. Atletismo, we say track and field, because we have the track for running and the field for the field games, athletic field games. So we say track and field, atletismo, track and field. Now we have more. There's more in class number 98, but I got so carried away with those conditionals. I was having so much fun that I ran out of time. So we will review that tomorrow. Don't worry, we'll review it tomorrow. And I'll see you then, right? Good. Okay, see you then. Have a good evening.